Once upon a time, the hunter was sitting alone in the castle before a peat fire. Next to him, his faithful hounds lay stretched, resting after a hard day's hunting. Outside, the storm howled, and the hunter sat listening to the rain and the wind. Suddenly, the latch was lifted, and a black cat, shivering with the cold and wet to the skin, sprang across the threshold. She stood trembling in the middle of the floor while the dogs rose up, every hair on their bodies bristling. "Great hunter," cried the black cat pitifully. "Spare, oh spare a poor creature that is so hungry, wet and cold." "Come sit by the fire," said the hunter, moved with pity. "Nothing shall harm you." He then tried to calm the dogs, and they lay down again, growling, their hair still bristling. But the black cat did not move. "I cannot come near the fire, good hunter," she said gently, "unless you first bind your two furious hounds with this hair." As the hunter saw, she held a long black hair in her mouth. He took it, but instead of binding the dogs, he threw it across a beam near the chimney. The black cat thought that the dogs were tied, so she approached the fire and squatted down before it as if to dry herself. When she'd been there only a few minutes, the hunter saw that she was swelling. "Yes, yes," purred the cat. "As my hairs dry, they stand out," she told the hunter. But she kept on swelling and swelling and swelling. "More bad luck to you, puss," cried the hunter. "You're as big as my bucket." "Yes, yes," snarled the cat. "When my skin dries, it expands." And still she kept on swelling and swelling and swelling. "Black death to you, evil beast," cried the hunter. "You're as big as the door." And at that, the black cat reared her back up until it touched the ceiling and screeched, "Fasten hair, fasten!" She thought the dogs were tied, as the hair fastened itself so tightly around the beam that it cut it in two. Then up sprang the dogs, their eyes rolling and red, and leapt towards the cat. But before they could touch her, she turned into a witch and flew yelling up the chimney.